let's move on to restringing this guitar. And then this one is a 6-in-line tuners, so I'm going to show you how to string up a guitar with 6-in-line tuners. Curt, Mangan, 9-42. All right, we're back here. Now I went ahead and I have already went ahead and ran the strings through the body here. On this American Professional Fender Telecaster, we're going to use our Curt Mangan 9-42s. These are awesome strings. Curt Mangan makes an awesome strings. Hand wound out of Cortez, Colorado. Very great company. They make awesome strings, and they blew me away. I love them. That's all I play. But whatever you wish to use is fine. So here's how we string up and measure for a 6-in-line headstock here. So we're going to take our E string and we're going to pull it tight. Lay it down into the slot on the nut. And then here's the E string post. And we're going to go out 2 posts. Okay, and then we're going to take our cutters and we're going to cut behind that post. Like that. Lay this one aside. Take our A string. Here's our A post, count 2 after that, and we're going to cut behind that post. Here's our D string. Lay it down in the nut slot. Here's our D post, and we're going to cut behind the B post, which is 2 from the D. G string, lay it into the G slot. Here is our G post, and then right here is the high E post, so we're going to measure 2 after that. Cut behind that. Now when we get to the B and the A and B and the E, we can still measure 2, but here's our B post. Here's the E post, and if we go one more, which is right about here, we can cut right there. Now for our E string, since we have no post to cut, we have to kind of, wouldn't say eyeball it, but measure. So there is post, there's 1, and there is 2. So right about where my pinky is where we're going to cut. So right about here. So now we have our strings cut to length. We don't need our cutters anymore. And let's put our other strings aside. We're going to start off with the E string. Now, we're going to do the same way as we did with our 3x3 video. We're going to stick the string in just a little bit so the excess comes out. Place your finger right here at the post and the string, and then you want to bend just a little bit to put some pressure on it. And then we're going to string once where the string goes above the excess, and the rest goes below it. And with the E string, you'll probably get about 3 wraps. Same thing with the A. Stick it through with a little bit of excess sticking out. Take your finger up against the post in the string, a little bit of a bend. One wrap above the excess, and then the rest below. And that will give you about 2 to 3 wraps on that. Here is our D string. Little excess out, bend, wrap above, and then these posts are a little bit short, wrap below. G string. Now these are your plain strings here. With your plain string, there's no need to do any type of tying on of these. It's an old myth. A lot of old timers who used to think that the string will slip and they'll tie them on. It's nonsense. You don't have to do that. If you stick it in and then put it in at an angle and kind of crimp it off, it'll hold in just fine. It won't slip. So I'll show you how we do that here. So here's a plain G string. Stick it in just a little bit. Then a little bit of a bend in it. One wrap above, and then the rest below. And there comes our B string here. Now right here we have a string tree to make sure our break angle is correct. That keeps our E string and the A string, the E string and B string in proper intonation here. So once again, you don't have to tie it on. It's not needed. Whoever says you do, don't listen to them, because you don't. Stick it in at an angle, and you'll feel, once you have it at an angle, you'll feel a resistance when you try to slide it in and out. Get a little excess out, and then once you have enough excess out, just kind of put your finger there at the post and the string and bend it just a little bit to give it a little crimp. You don't have to rush it, you just wind it slowly. One wrap above, then your second wrap above the excess, and then the rest of the wraps below. And then when you have enough slack in it, but still tension, you'll put it underneath the string tree, and then continue. And if you go above your excess, because these are just kind of back it off. And finally, the E string. Stick the string in at an angle. Put your finger at the post and the string. Bend just a little bit. One wrap above. Two wraps above. And the rest below. Don't need to rush it, just go slow if you need to. Put your string under the string tree. And continue down. And answer the phone if you need to. There, we have our strings all strung up. And let me look at my wraps here. They look really good. So let's plug it in and get them up to pitch. And once you get all your strings to pitch, go back and start from the top again and check them. And my strings are already stretched. I don't have to adjust them any. That's what happens when you properly pull them tight and measure them and cut them and get your proper wraps. You don't have to deal with a whole bunch of stretching of the strings. I did one pass of tuning. I'm already at pitch and at tension, and they stayed in tune. It's another good thing about these Curt Mangan strings. They tend to, just rock out and stay in tune and pitch. And they've pretty much stayed in tune. Let me double check the tuning on them. Yep, I'm in pitch. D is just a hair flat. G is just a hair flat. B is still in pitch, and my high E still in pitch. Curt Mangan strings are amazing, and so is this technique of stringing your 6-in-line guitar. Now, you can do this too, but if you can't, just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you're feeling comfortable tuning your own guitar, bring it to us. We'll take care of it. We'll see you next time.